Even though we're just over halfway through the season, there have been some scintillating performances, and I'm going to stick my neck out and predict who is going to win the Player of the Year. So first up in this 7-man shortlist, I've gone for Mo Salah. Not necessarily the best season from him and for Liverpool, but that kind of works in his favour when it comes to the voting. At number 7, it's obviously a bit of a long shot that he's going to win it, but he is top of the goal scoring charts at the moment of recording, and he's still scoring goals during a season in which the team has not really won that many games compared to previous years. The front three haven't exactly been on form. There's been a few goal droughts here and there. The team just aren't really fully functioning as they should, and have certainly looked blunt in quite a few games. So the fact that Salah still managed to outscore the rest of the division surely goes to show that he's still been in pretty good form. Moving into number 6, and it's Ruben Dias, a man who has literally changed Manchester City's defensive fortunes. It's not completely down to him, but he's playing a massive part in it. He's basically their Virgil van Dijk signing. Since coming to the club, Manchester City have shored up in their defensive area and have almost got as many clean sheets as they have goals conceded in the Premier League. That is insane, and Ruben Dias has been such a big part of it. The thought that a defensive player could win the Player of the Year doesn't really sit right with anything in modern football, to be honest, because it's always about the goal scorers. But having said that, in 2 of the last 4 seasons, defensive-minded players have won the trophy, with Virgil van Dijk and N'Golo Kante both taking the prize home. He could be in with a shout, but being in at number 6 on this list, I don't really think he's got much of a chance. Moving into number 5, this is where we see Harry Kane. Now, if it wasn't for Spurs' up and down season, he probably would have been a little bit higher, but it all looks like it might be in vain. And what I'm talking about is his fantastic performances, both as a goal scorer and as an assister, especially for Heung-min Son. Those two link up has been absolutely amazing. The thing is though, despite the fact that Kane is in double figures for both assists and goals, it just looks like he can't really drag Tottenham to the top 4. If in a few weeks when we review this and they are in a Champions League spot, I'll be absolutely amazed, but all of it looks like it might be for nothing if they can't win anything or finish in a European spot. So Kane, I've given an outside chance on his individual ability. I'm not so sure he's going to take home the award though. This is where things start hotting up those who move into number 4, and I'm really pleased to say that Jack Grealish is on this list. Do I think he'll win it? No. Do I think he deserves massive recognition? Absolutely. The fact that he plays for a non-traditional top 6 club only goes to show that he is in fine form and deserves all the recognition. Last season, he was playing really well, but the fact that Villa were in a relegation scrap and only survived on the last day of the season just really takes a little bit of the shine off his performances. But this campaign, surrounded by better players after some good signings in the summer and playing much more free-flowing football, Aston Villa have been a joy to watch, and so is Jack Grealish. When it comes to creating chances, goals, assists, he's up there with all the other top midfielders in the Premier League, bar 1 or 2, and that just kind of to show you the kind of company that he can keep. Unfortunately for Aston Villa, I think this may be his last season at his hometown club, but who knows? If they manage to make a late run at the end of the season and finish in a European spot, he may stay, and he also may take home the award. Just like with Jack Grealish then, at number 3, and this goes to Thomas Suchet because he's playing for a non-traditional club. Like I said, maybe not a non-traditional club, but certainly a club that you wouldn't expect to be winning prizes and their players to be taking home big awards. Suchet, though, has been brilliant. Unfortunately for him, and I think the same thing goes to Jack Grealish, is that if West Ham don't finish towards the top upper reaches of the table, I don't think he's going to win. That's nothing to do with him. It's just that kind of goes hand in hand with winning awards when your team has won something as well. Put it this way. If you've got Thomas Suchet, a key part of the midfield which has seen West Ham shock the Premier League and finish in the Champions League spots, up against Thomas Suchet, a key part of the West Ham midfield which has kind of shocked the Premier League and they challenged for a Europa League spot, but then it all fell apart and they finished 9th, doesn't exactly have the same ring to it. I know it's an individual award and I know he's been so brilliant for me. He's been the number 1 signing of the season. I just can't help but think that his rewards will be intrinsically linked to West Ham's. Before we get into number 2, let's take a look at the near misses. Now, I already mentioned Heung-min Son, but there's also Phil Foden who deserves a shout out. Kevin De Bruyne, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, João Cancelo, Bukayo Saka, Emi Martinez, Mason Mount and James Maddison, who have all had fantastic seasons. Moving into the top 2 then, and there really is so little to divide them. First up, in at number 2, it's Bruno Fernandes. Coming into Manchester United last January, he has literally changed everything about the club. It just feels like with him on the pitch, anything is possible. United can dream about being towards the top of the Premier League again, and he has just become their talisman and main man. It's so evident when he's not there or he's not on form, which thankfully hasn't really been an issue for them. He's been consistent, like all the best players are. He's popped up with crucial goals and crucial assists at the crucial moments. He is everything to Manchester United at the moment. Since joining the club, no one has more goal contributions in the Premier League, and he's doing it not just stat padding or turning up when the rest of the team is helping him and providing all that he needs in this team, but he's also doing it at the clutch moments when United aren't performing, where it's very difficult and when they've got to pull something out the bag. Bruno Fernandes, more often than not, a lot more often than not, is there to be that man. In fact, if he were to pick up the Premier League Player of the Year trophy, I don't think anyone could complain, and you certainly wouldn't hold it against him. But for me, there is one challenger, one guy that can stop him. And that man is Ilkay Gundogan. Now, not only is the German midfielder doing everything you'd expect of a world-class midfielder in Manchester City's team, but he's also become one of their main goal scorers. This also, a lot of credit has to go to Pep Guardiola, but just goes to show he's basically doing two jobs worth for Manchester City in one player. Sergio Aguero has been injured a lot, and Gabriel Jesus has been in and out of the team, so Gundogan has stepped up in the team, which often doesn't even play with a recognised striker. Arriving from late, he's managed to get himself on the score sheet, while, like I mentioned, also being a brilliant midfielder. The fact that Bruno Fernandes is doing what he's doing is, well, it's kind of expected. Like, yes, he's raising the levels of what he's doing, how consistently, but Gundogan is literally doing another player's job as well. And this is what I believe gives him the edge when it comes to the race for the prize. Obviously, like I've mentioned before, it does also depend on the fact of where they finish and how good Manchester City are, and they're going to win the title. And when you've got two players being so key for their team, but one of them wins the title, it's just difficult to not give it to that player. Anyway, either Fernandes or Gundogan, both for me are definitely the two favourites. So you guys, let me know what you think. Is either one of them going to win the award? Is it someone else that I've completely missed off the list? Let me know in the comments. Check out everything else we've got going on at OneFootball here and here. And until next time, I will see you guys later.